Jenner here.
Earth Probe 1, Reynolds here.
Proceed.
There's not a relay engineer who enjoys transmissions from this woman more than I do. But you gotta tell her to ease up, Jenner. 4 times a shift is a bit much. Stand by for playback.
Hey, Jenner. How are you? I just wanted to remind you to send the Titan samples to me here on Earth Station 4. Oh, and by the way, when do I get that dinner you promised me on Archon 7?
Keep your comments to yourself, Reynolds.
Ghen War was released in September of 1995 in North America and is a first-person mech shooter. It features some ratherly awesome cheesy FMV sequences that will delight fans of FMV-based video games, and well, this never really was a game I was too into. Funny fact, over the years I have amassed quite a collection of Ghen War discs. I currently own about 22 or so copies of this game, disc only unfortunately. It's rather ridiculous actually. Anyways, Ghen War could have been something pretty special actually, if it weren't for one major problem: the draw distance. It is painfully difficult to see your enemies, and as such it's so easy to get picked off by the Ghen. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself though, so let's dig into the storyline first. Many years into the future, humans and an alien race known as the Ghen work alongside one another. The Ghen are taking refuge from another alien race known as the Bo-Kayat. One day, while on a routine mission, the Ghen suddenly attack an outpost before turning their sights on those who were helping in the operation. That's where you and your crew come in. You play as the Lieutenant, in an exoskeleton suit whose mission is to complete a wide assortment of objectives in order to prevent the Ghen from attacking anyone else. Why did the Ghen attack? Why break the peace treaty? And what's their larger plan? The exoskeleton has a wide assortment of powerful weaponry at its disposal. You have access to various types of missiles, bombs, and standard cannon fire. You take on a variety of missions made up of several different objectives. There's a nice amount of variety to the missions themselves and to the objectives too, from saving your teammates to eliminating key targets to escaping enemy bases. There's lots of different things to do. Technically, this was actually a very impressive game for its time in one key area. It featured deformable terrain, meaning you could actually shoot missiles at certain cliffs and other areas, and they would slowly change appearance and deform in real time. I already mentioned the fact that the draw distance was quite poor, but at least the frame rate remains constant throughout. It's just a shame it can be so difficult to see incoming enemies. There is a pretty decent map system on the left-hand side of the screen which pinpoints where enemies are located, but since you're always staring off into the black abyss, it's not overly useful. Objective locations can be difficult to locate as well because of this particular problem with the draw distance. Had Ghen War been given another maybe year of development time, it may have turned out to be a better game, but as it is, that draw distance is simply too restrictive for extended play sessions. You're gonna get frustrated, and quickly. At least you can have a good chuckle with the full motion cutscenes, which are absolutely chock-filled with quality acting, or well, something like that. The quality of the FMV itself is better than what you'd expect to see on something like the SEGA CD, for example, but isn't as crisp as what you'd expect to see with a game that utilized the VCD card, which unfortunately this game did not support. In fact, that card was never even released in North America. The rest of the graphics haven't aged as well as with most 32-bit early 3D games, but the audio is quite good. Most of the music is ambient, and when action does pick up, well, so too does the music, and it's fitting and catchy. I actually rather liked it. The sound effects, though, are pretty much average fare, nothing too special. Overall, this is a very cheap game to pick up on the Saturn, and given the deformable terrain, you may want to do just that, in order to experience the technology for yourself. This tech would be vastly improved with the Red Faction series the following generation on the PlayStation 2 and onward, but it's still very impressive to see here on the SEGA Saturn. As a video game, it's okay, but it could have been a lot better.
Rear lift plate's fine. Let's finish relining the quarter panels.
I'm not through replacing the thrust systems yet.
Good. So we're not moving anywhere till Earth figures out what those crazy goons are up to, right?
Well, as far as we know, Earth still has no idea what's going on.
Your implant must be defective.
I never got one.
Why not?
Well, Jenner and I were scheduled to get one on Sunstar, but in case you don't remember, the Ghen blew up the station. Stand by. Reynolds is coming through on the emergency line.
Probe 1, Reynolds here.
Any luck patching us through to Earth Station 4?
Negative. All intergalactic transmissions are still shut down. Seems the only way to bypass the scramble is to transmit directly from the ship.
That's impossible.
Yeah, unless we've got a satellite laying around.
Reynolds, we're trying to maintain as much radio silence as possible. You didn't have to come online to tell us that.
I didn't. I came online because we received a report that the Ghen have landed at Pavanis Mons.
Who sent the report?
Most likely a Mars probe. Their signal was scrambled halfway through the transmission.
Sir, Pavonis Mons is an inactive volcano.
And?
Martian volcanoes contain the elements necessary to generate strontium reactions similar to those that cause Titan to explode.
Anyone else know about the landing?
Negative. We can't transmit to anyone else.
Then we'll just have to stop them ourselves.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Who do you think we are? Superheroes? I mean, we're a bunch of surface engineers, Jenner. What are we gonna do? Core sample them to death?
Superheroes, I believe I'll need a processor upgrade for that.
Get those thrust systems replaced immediately. Return to the ship. We're going to Mars.